Do you
celebrate New
celebrate
Year?
New Year?
Huh?
Do you
Do you
celebrate New
celebrate
Year?
New Year?
That's a good question. I celebrate every day. I celebrate every day. People ask me, how did you celebrate? Yeah, it was all happiness, peace. But the problem, especially I feel everywhere, now in the world, everywhere, tell me frankly that are you not scared? What will you say if anyone asks how you celebrated Christmas and last year's Eve? So we are little bit were scared. So we go to the party, we have a wine and we have a beer, and or maybe we have a vodka, and and then you have a hangover the next day. But if you say that I contemplated and reflecting my life for the whole year, people will say, "Oh, you are crazy guy. You know, look at this crazy guy. He doesn't know anything about this new year. You don't know anything about the new year. You should have celebrated every day as a new year. It is a mental state. It is the mind says that tomorrow is going to be the first year of the day. But the time is the same. Time is the same. How you celebrated Christmas, Charlie? That is what we were talking about. I can tell you frankly, I watch, and I always ask that how you celebrated. Oh, we went to the party, there were a lot of people, and I had a wine, and the wine was 1943. Okay, oh, you celebrated. Huh? So we are little bit scared if anyone asks how you celebrated. And if one notices that you remain in the house, that will also not look nice. So I have to go. I forcibly go. And then I have a hangover the next day in the morning. Or I have some jealousy or hatred against, those parties and people. But if you say party, beer, wine, oh, yes, you are full of life. No, you're not full of life. You are full of stress. We don't give the right interpretation in our life. Today is Tuesday. Yes, yesterday. So they, at the end of the session, they said, Happy New Year. I said, you have to answer my question. Is the happiness located in the new year? That is why you say Happy New Year? Or are you happy? That is why you are saying Happy New Year. No, you always talk of philosophy. I said you are always talk of negative philosophy. You just said Happy New Year because everyone is saying. It does not make any difference. If I say also that Happy New Year. But why you said this? Because no living species can think, contemplate, and reflect except the human being. Whatever we think, speak, and act, if we don't reflect on it, our life is not going to be better. I can tell you frankly. Do whatever you want to do. You may be a millionaire. What difference it makes? Millionaire is a label. Do you have two mouths to eat when you are a millionaire? I don't want to go more explaining all those things. And you still go to the same washroom. You still eat through your one mouth. You still sleep on the one bed. You don't sleep on 10 beds. That is only a label. Not more than a label. When you live authentically, that is what the Eastern wisdom is talking about. I should live authentically. It doesn't mean that I should not earn. Yes, go and earn money, but remain authentic. So if you are not authentic, that is what we discussed last time, the mind will take over you. The impulsive desire, the unnecessary emotional aspects, you see that my honey is not interested in celebrating New Year. Get another honey then, who celebrate with wine and beer. What is this, all this? You know, I don't know, I may be a little more than. You sit down, contemplate and reflect, communicate calmly, find out, how should I evolve and progress. That is the purpose. You find out the purpose of life. Honey, in the next year, you should love me. Oh, until now, I have not been loving. I get a lot of comments, You won't believe what emails I get. uh, Today was a session for one woman. I have resolved from the next year I will stop all my substance abuse. So please excuse me today. I'm celebrating New Year. I said, go celebrate your New Year. You are celebrating with that intention. With that intention, you are saying that I will have a resolve next year. You can never have a resolve. I will tell you the story. So New Year means time, day, date, year, but what is most important is the time. How your mind is behaving at this moment is very important. Is it still guided and dictated by the past impression and impulsivity and pleasure seeking? Nothing is going to change. You may have a grand resolve, it will definitely break up within a day or two. So when I wake up in the morning, I should see that, oh, I am alive. That is a new year. Do you see? I'm alive. I'm conscious. Conscious means I'm alive. That will change your life and transform your life. Otherwise, there is no way, to change and transform and evolve your life. There is no possibility. Yeah, that is a wonderful, Sophie wrote to me that, she did not speak for, she maintained the silence. Then she is able to recognize how my mind gets crazy. Because when you resolve that, let me live into that state of silence, let me not speak to anyone for a couple of hours, now you have resolved. Who has resolved? The intellect. And now the mind will jump here and there. And then you recognize how the mind is jumping. Normally in a daily communication, we don't realize. We don't realize. We just impulsively act and react. That is worth practicing. And when you have that understanding, obviously, we are becoming a seeker. And that is what the Shanti meditation, if you practice daily without fail, do whatever you want to do. You practice in the morning before going to sleep, you do it. What will happen after a few weeks, After a few weeks, your mind will admit the mistakes, how many times you went impulsively, habitually, instinctively. Your mind will say to you, that is what our masters have been saying. Oh, first prove me that it will change. First prove me. First prove me you are my soulmate. then you will become my soulmate. It is an experiential journey. So we have a lot of impurities in our mind. So there is always a struggle between the mind and the intellect. I had a session just an hour before of a young guy who is 16 years old, and I will not. I have stopped doing everything. So his dad contacted me. I said, I'll take care, provided you don't interfere. Otherwise, you will interfere impulsively, and then there will be a problem. Oh, no, I promise that I will not interfere. I said, then I will take care of you. I don't want to do anything. I have stopped doing everything. So what you have stopped? I have stopped going to the school. Now you see that. Just to raise his awareness, I said, you have stopped doing everything? Yes, sir, I have stopped doing everything. You don't go to the washroom? No, I go. Don't you sleep? Yes, I sleep. Don't you eat? I eat. Oh, you are doing a lot of things. Add one more. So instead, I should address his problems directly in relationship to confrontation with the parents. I said, no, that is not the way. The way is to evolve yourself. Struggle between the mind and the intellect. And that struggle is caused by identification and attachment. At the time of the birth, we are not identified with anyone, For example, I'm saying, for example, my mother did not feed the milk to me. If some other mother feed me the milk, that, I was a baby, unconscious. It is a survival instinct. I will drink. But as we grow older, we start identifying falsely. Identifying means associating oneself with something external. It may be a person, it may be an event, it may be the body, it may be the mind, it may be the possessions, it may be the role, as if it is the essence of myself. It creates a limited and distorted sense of I-ness by superimposing non-self on the real self. I spoke a lot. Let me give you an example. A person may say that I'm young and strong, believing my age, physical attribute. So it means I'm defining myself with the age and physical attribute. I will say to the young guy, look at me, I'm 66 now. I have a gray hair. Do you have any chance that you should not have a gray hair when you turn of my age? Can you stop it? You can delay it. So it means I associated myself with a particular attribute over the real self. And that will cause a problem. Sooner or later. Look at, I'm so beautiful, let the aging process continue. And then you stand before the mirror. Now, same thing happens. I'm explaining the identification. Same thing happens. I am CEO, I'm manager, I'm rich. Long list. Label. I'm a powerful person because I manage the entire team. And when the role changes, then what happens? I married the beautiful women in the world. The next day you divorce. What happened to you? Example I'm saying. So this is what the identification is very dangerous, very harmful to the mind. It constantly haunts you. Once you identify and you are repeating in your head, it results into emotional dependence, which is known as attachment. And as long as you have an attachment with anything, with the people in the world, roles, outcomes, you will definitely have anxiety, fear, frustration, failure in your life. Why? I told you association, identification, attachment, they are growing in your mind like a weed. It will create a sense of belief, and that belief is not going to be dissolved so easily. Do you have any sense of that belief? I'm American, so I'm British or I'm Indian. So Indians are special, or you are simply a human being. So we have to get rid of this belief system. That belief system, association, identification, attachment. Now, because the mind has acquired this ability, it will get easily attached. How it gets easily attached? Go to the car dealer, you buy a luxury car. You are already attached. Expression will come later. Oh, I bought clothes, dress. You are already attached. Now the mind has started working. Mind will create problem in the future. Now you don't look good in this dress. Now you return home and you promise not to put on this clothes ever. Who told you? Because my friend told me. Because my friend always gives me good advice. Who is he or she? Belief is equal to association plus identification plus attachment. So whether you are attachment with a possession, with a cloth, with a person, with a nationality, with a gender, you are bound to be frustrated. It creates millions of impulsiveness, impulsive desires, and your mind prompts unconsciously. No, you cannot say this, that Britishers are bad. You cannot say this. No, I'm giving you. Look at this. This is what we say the impurities of the mind. Identification. So now ask yourself, where I'm associating, does it have any content pertaining to me? I am. No. I'm rich. The wealth is lying in the money, in the bank. Or maybe if you save taxes, then it is lying in your home. So tell me, I will report to the IRS. Look at this, this nature of the mind. So we identify with the non-self, position, husband, wife, rich, poor, Britisher, American, Indian, whatever, or Belgium, Belgium, Brussels, yeah. Can we get rid of this? And once you get rid of it, you're dropping the identification, the mind is calm, relaxed now. So identification with the non-self, it results into attachment. That very attachment leads to suffering. Master says use the power in the intellect. What is the power in the intellect? The power of discernment. What is discernment? To separate. Discernment. In Eastern wisdom, we say it is viveka. Viveka means you separate the two. What do you separate? Now you see beauty of the Eastern wisdom. You see that. That's what one has to learn. Separate. So the master starts explaining that you have a rice, white in color, the physical properties, and the sesame seed, either black or brownish in color. So based on the physical properties, you can easily separate the two. So we have two physical entities separate. Now you see where the magic takes place. That people don't recognize. And I said, today is the last day of the year. You should always remember, if you still think of the New Year's, then we have a mixture of milk and the water. So that is little bit a complex process, but still you can separate the milk from the water. Milk from the water. I normally drink, at this age, I drink kefir. Kefir, it's very good for cholesterol and etc. etc. It's very good. It contains lot of protein minus the fat. So they extract the fat from the milk. And they put some bacteria, and ultimately it's good for the health. So I've given you a couple of examples of separation. Now you have an attachment that you are a husband and a great husband, only the wife is crazy. Now you separate man from the husband. The husband does not exist, and you are free. So the master starts explaining from separation, physical properties, chemical properties. Then the master hits you that you claim that you are a husband, yes, for the sake of the world, convenience, in the transactional world, yes, remain, but don't put it as an attachment. Rich, don't put as an attachment. First, you are a human being. There is no husband, there is no rich, there is no poor, there is no crazy. If you say I'm crazy, no, there is no craziness. Because you identify yourself that you are crazy, you become crazy. Did you understand the power in the intellect? That power in the intellect is known as the power of discernment. Discernment in Eastern wisdom, we say it is viveka. Viveka literally means to separate and then see whether it exists or not. Husband does not exist. So where is the problem? Where is the problem? Wife does not exist. They are labels. Do you undergo a specific change to be labeled as a wife? So in Indian bridegrooms, the Indian brides, they have a special significance. They put some red, means that you are married. You are a wife to someone. But it is a reminder. Behind that false notion, the women exist only. And that power in the intellect, power of discernment, is practiced in everyday life, will be a celebration of a new year, in the last day of the year. You live in discernment all the time. Yeah, you are my husband. How dare you say? Hold on. Power of discernment. Gone. It is gone. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Finished. It takes a fraction of a second to change the mind, the impulsive nature. and you continue to do it in your daily life, within a week, you find where is the anxiety? No. Anxiety comes because of identification. Frustration, failure, fear is all because of anxiety, because of identification or attachment. Association, identification, and attachment. Consider today is the New Year's Day. What aspects of my life I am identifying with? Ask this question 100 times and you will get 50 answers. The moment you get the answers, you have already separated it. You are relaxed. Why? Because the other does not exist. Did you understand? Sesame seed and the rice, the two exist. Water and the milk, two exist. Husband and a man, only one exists if you separate. Wife and a girl, women, only one exists. Rich and a man, only man exists. Rich is only a label, non-self. Did you understand it? I am sick. No, you are a human being. Sickness does not exist. Sickness exists in the body and yes, let me take care of it. Do you see that? That is the power of the Eastern wisdom. So first question, what aspects of my life am I identifying with it? Ask that question again and again. It may be a role, a position in the body. I see that, I'm still smart 66 years old. You were smart when you were born and you will continue to be smart. So first question, what aspects am I identifying with it? Second question, how does this identification create emotional attachment? You see it clearly. Can I observe these attachments without any judgment and reflect on their transient nature, temporary nature? And then ask the intellect, what should I do? Should I continue to identify with it or associate with it? No. But if your partner calls you honey, yes, you should respond. Don't say that, I have left this association. Then you are more crazy than you think. In the transactional world, you see, it's a very tricky thing. That's why we say it doesn't happen in a day. It's a journey. Gradually, you raise your level of self-awareness. Your mind is now clear, and in the home you hear the voice, honey. Whom you are talking to, then you are crazy, You have to respond to it. Now, if you say whom you are talking, so you are acting now. You are acting out you are acting out of the non-self. You still have lot of grudges inside, that's why you are saying this. So you are not applying this Eastern wisdom correctly, and that will cause again lot of challenges to you. So it's a very subtle form. Mind, intellect has to be clear. Once you separate it and you start thinking, speaking, and acting, that is the first step to become a spiritual person. Because now you are a seeker. Otherwise, it's a fashion statement. What is fashion statement? I'm not a religious guy. I'm a spiritual guy. It's a fashion statement. It has no meaning. Who go to the church and who don't go to the church, find out, evaluate, and observe. There is no change in the life. Even if the person who says I'm a spiritual and I go to the church, you don't find any difference. that will create lot of challenges in your head, and the mind will cannot change at all. Why? Because of you will still have the association and identification and attachment, and that is going to create lot of challenges in your life, which results into a lot of problems. We already know anxiety, duality, conflict. But once you take the first step, you are a seeker. You realize, now you recognize that yes, I'm a spiritual person. We'll talk about later. Close your eyes. Eyes are closed. Find out the place. Most ideal place. You see that we are now, this year, will continue to do the self inquiry. So, the place. So, in a ritual term, if you are learning a primary basic practice, then what we say, what the teacher will say, burn the incense sticks, keep your mat, sanctity of the mat, don't eat over the mat, keep it safe. Every time you meditate, you use it. And when you are a seeker, then what you do? You just close your eyes, find the right place to sit or lie down in whatever the position, and become aware of the space all around. You have already created a sacred space. But we have to guide very primary level of a seeker like that. That is also good, that is also right, this is also right. And then the position of the body. Find out the position of the body is not disturbed by the impulsive nature of the mind, attachment nature of the mind. Means you are able to maintain that position and the posture. Yes, there is no stress and struggle with the body. But if there is a lot of stress and struggle into the body, then burn the incense sticks, make the space sacred, so-called close the room, silence, good music. Otherwise, you don't need any outer external support. And then being comfortable. So, comfortable, existence is always comfortable. So now you see that association, attachment, and identification takes place when the mind is always scattered outside in millions of directions with lot of labels. And what you do in being comfortable, you look at the neck joint, you become aware, then you look deep inside the neck joint. What you're doing, consciously understand you have changed the direction of the mind. Make it very simple and clear. You have changed the direction of the mind. Oh yes, I'm not looking at the world outside. So when I'm looking at the world outside, mind will trigger what? Association, identification, and attachment with the object, with the people, with the relationship. No, I'm looking inside. I'm looking into the neck joint. I'm not looking at my honey. Finished. Then what happens? You experience the sensation, comfort, and steadiness. You have to apply. You even think and reflect in meditation. Don't worry about it. I will take care of it. And then you look at the entire body from the top of the head to the toes. Move your mind on the skin of the body. Means you have changed the direction. Look inside the body. You have changed the direction further. And be there inside and experience the sensation, comfort, and steadiness. My friends, understand it clearly. If the knowledge, the intellect gives you 100% knowledge, and the intellect has 100% belief that you have changed the direction, that gives you an experience of sensation, comfort, and steadiness. It is not that your eyes are closed or otherwise. That is what our masters are saying. Don't fall into these kind of rituals, but if you are not a seeker, you have to follow the ritual. I am not opposing it. Those rituals will help you in the beginning, but now there is no need. We have been doing it for a couple of months and years. Being carefree. Now, once your mind is inside, so when the mind is inside, the mind has a faint idea that the world of people, relationship, identification is separate from you. How that is expressed? That is expressed by the mind in form of the thought, feeling, and emotions. So that is what is being carefree. What is being carefree? Oh yeah, the sky and the birds flying in the sky. They are flying in the sky, and still the sky remains untouched. So we have a deeper layer of the mind, or I can say we have an awareness, or I can say we have a consciousness that is separate from all the thoughts, feeling, emotions. That is being carefree. That is why I gave you those metaphors. To what should I do? No, do nothing. Just watch. Just watch. Feel. What do you feel? Birds are flying in the sky, but it remains untouched. So you are looking deep inside the forehead in the space, and that space is still untouched by any thought enters into your mind. Good, bad, high, low. Finished. Then, that is the right moment to introduce a mantra. Just to let us introduce a mantra. Satoma Satgamaya. You may also say in your mind, Asatoma Satgamaya. You had all the thoughts, you wanted to separate it, but now you are introducing a thought. Why? To replace those impulsive desires in the thoughts. That's why the Shanti mantra will work. So what it means? It means moving from the false to the real. That is what we discussed today. I am husband, I am wife, I am rich, I am poor, I am sick, I am anxious. Our master says you separate it. Asato ma satgamaya. That is the meaning. Tamaso ma jyotirgamaya. You may sing in your mind, Tamaso ma jyotirgamaya. Tamaso ma jyotirgamaya. Moving from ignorance to wisdom. What is ignorance? I am husband, I am wife, I am rich, I am poor. What is wisdom? I am a human being, has a potential to realize permanent peace and happiness in my life. Do you have this thought all the time, 24/7? If yes, you are a great seeker. You are ready to remove that ignorance and move to the wisdom. You look at the mantra, the meaning. It is not simply repeating mechanically and habitually. Parrot can repeat it. The parrot does not become a seeker and awakened if you don't apply an understanding. Mrityormamritangamaya, mrityormamritangamaya. What this means? Literal meaning is moving from mortality to immortality. What? I'll become immortal if I practice Eastern wisdom? What your mind say, oh, forget about it. So we still have lot of doubts, lot of ignorance, lot of falseness. They all needs to be removed step by step in progression. That is what the journey of Eastern wisdom is. But I gave you the highest wisdom. When you drop the identification and attachment with the body, your intellect, Your mind, your intellect knows that you are not the body. Your mind experiences that separation like this body is like a car I have parked in the garage. So when you are not the body, where is the birth and where is the death? You are already immortal. That is the journey. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. I used another Shanti mantra. You can use this also. This is also Shanti mantra. Now look at the breath. So now what we have done, we have changed the direction of the mind. We have recognized that all these thoughts are like the birds flying in the sky. So there is some area, a state of the consciousness which is separate, and we have some idea and impressions about it. And then we replaced an uncrazy thought process by a different thought process, that this is the journey I'm undertaking. So in that state of the mind is very receptive. It can settle into meditation. Oh, so the real meditation practice starts from here. Yes. So look at the breath. The breath is going in and out. Do not change the rate and the rhythm of the breath. Feel the sensation of the breath going in and out in the state of sensation, relaxation, and stillness in the body. So what we discussed last time, that how the mind, crazy mind, divides the time into past, present, and the future. Time is divided by the mind. Now ask yourself, can the time be divided? No. Can the time be divided? No, not at all. So then what we do? We divide it for our convenience. For our convenience. And we'll have a session every Tuesday at this time. Convenience. That is also a label. Okay. So it means there is always a present. There is always a present time. So now you have understood. Now the remarkable magical understanding the Buddha gives us, breath awareness. What means the mind is looking at the breath in the present moment. Why? Because the breath is always in the present moment. Mind is a doubt. So ask the question to your mind, can I become aware of the breath that I have taken yesterday at 5 p.m.? No, it is already gone. Can I be aware of the breath in the future after the session? No. So when I'm looking at the breath, I'm helping the mind to move in the present, to drop the past, to drop the future projection. What happens? The mind undergoes a transformation. If you can remain aware of the breath 100% even for 5 minutes, and that 5 minutes, to reach 5 minutes, it takes years and years and years. Why? Because of the impulsive nature of the mind, because of the trillions of impressions. Well, sometimes I fall into deep sleep and I get a thought, it makes me crazy, I forget, then I return to the breath again, and then I try to control, my breath rate changes, everything hodgepodge. In order to hasten that process, we have all those different steps. Okay, that is what you understand it. And that is why when the mind is resisting, reacting, or not, doesn't make any difference. If you are relaxed and calm, mind is continuously in the present moment, or the mind is distracted, or fell into sleep or laziness, no issue. You are hearing me. When the breath goes in, drop, mentally drop, Shantoham. Breath comes out, Shantoham. So you are now using two tools to keep the mind in present. You are using two tools. One is the breath movement, and other is Shantoham, the mantra. You see that? So we have to use it with clear understanding. Continue. So when I say continue, what it means by continue? Continue means you are in the state of sensation, relaxation, and stillness in the body. Mind is living within. Why? You have changed the direction and you are carefree. Why? Because you have understood the journey of the self-discovery by false to real, ignorance to wisdom, mortality to immortality. And mind has already, there is a kind of mental maturity, and then you started living in the present moment by being aware of the breath, and then you have added Shantoham. Let us see what happens. Let us see what happens. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. I always recite this. Sometimes people think that it's a kind of ritual. No, it's not a ritual. Music is going on throughout our studios while practicing meditation. That is all. That is a real ritual because you don't understand. Here it simply means let there be peace, peace, and peace, and should continue even after the meditation. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your mind on the right hand, your mind on the left hand. Lift your both the palms, place it on your eyes, open the eyes inside. Know your experiences, bring the hands down and share our experiences now. How are you, Charlie?
Hello.
Hello.
I'm good.
I'm good.
Oh, sorry, I'm getting
Sorry, I'm getting
feedback.
feedback.
Um,
Let me see.
I like what
I
you
like
said
what you
about
said
not being
about
a
not
sick
being a sick
person
person
Yes.
because I've been
because I've
coughing
been
a lot,
coughing a
so I
lot. So I
just
just
observed it
observed
and
it and
was able to
was
get
able to
deeper.
get deeper.
Beautiful. That is what it should happen. Beautiful. Yes. Good. That's a good. That is what should. Once you have a clear understanding, then mind can be kept aside. Good. How are you, John?
Hey Girish,
Hey,
I'm
Girish, I'm
fine.
fine.
I'm
I'm
contemplating my
contemplating my
life.
life.
Contemplating your life.
Yes.
Yes.
The mind is becoming clear.
Yes.
Yes.
Good. Yes, that's a good point. How are you, Sophie?
I am
I
good.
am good.
Girish. Thank you.
Thank you.
I think I
I
had
think I had
a
a
moment
moment
where there was
there was
no
no
thoughts
thoughts
whatsoever, and I
whatsoever,
was
and I was
fully
fully
aware.
aware.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Good. We can recognize. You see, we intellectually understand the sky is untouched by the birds flying in it. You have to bring the same experience. The lot of birds are there, but the sky is untouched. Means what? The sky always remains empty. Same thing with my head. So there is a deeper layer of the consciousness which remains empty, which is not at all affected by any impulsive desire, thought, feeling, emotions, anxiety, or sickness, etc. So we have to reach there. So that point is the point of no mind. No mind means no thought. Very good. That's good. So anyhow, we'll meet.